untouched, unperturbed. That is the relationship between man and creation, a painter and their brush, a writer and their pen. But the machines, no, the machines don't see it that way. They bleed into every facet of our lives, replacing genuine human thought and emotion with soulless lines of code. And with seemingly no way to stop these golems of progress, there is only one question that remains. What makes us special? Yeah, AI. I know I'm a little late to the party and everybody seems to have moved on from AI and gotten off the hype train to some new topic of the week, but it wasn't too long ago that AI set the internet on fire. Anybody who had a voice on any platform talked about it. And rightfully so. I think as far as technology is concerned, AI has the greatest potential to affect how we work and the world economy as it is today. And people are really worried, right? What's going to happen to people whose jobs can be easily replaced by the machines? How are they going to earn a living? And what if they don't have a particular skill set or a certain set of interests? What is going to happen to them? And a group that was a bit more vocal about their concerns were artists. You see, AI invades on the very private and intimate process of creativity, whereby a person pours out their thoughts and feelings and even their soul sometimes into a piece of music or a painting or even the script of a movie. And AI seems, without all these prerequisites, of human emotion and feeling, just pump out content, or recklessly. Not recklessly, but rather easily. But in the midst of all of these worries, I think that people haven't really taken into consideration what sets us apart from the machines, and just how that gap, no matter how small it is, cannot be covered. So here is my explanation of why AI cannot win. I think before I start to defend the rights of all artists and organic people, organic beings all around the world, I think that first you just have to accept that AI as an invention is really cool. I mean, the idea that I can wake up at any given moment and go on mid-journey and type in banana with legs and get some sort of illustration is really cool. I mean, we should all be kind of happy, I guess, to be like, hey, I was there when we first saw machines start to imagine. And it's really cool. I think that let's not discard it and just say, well, it poses a threat to us, we must completely let go of it. Nah, it's a worthwhile invention. But the concern still remains, right? And I think one of the two things that I really think, from my perspective, matter beyond others is what AI has over us. And these two things are, first, AI doesn't have to rest. And two, just how attractive the idea of AI actually is. So the first one is, we get tired. We need to sleep at least 7 hours a day. We need to eat. We need to have other things in our lives that keep us sane, right? We need to take care of the physical and mental aspect of ourselves. AI doesn't need all of that high maintenance. AI just needs to be kept up to date, fix a few bugs, and be kept online by people in a shift schedule, all right? And that's perhaps what scares me the most, is that in the moments where I am unable to keep on going, either I cannot come up with an idea for a new film or a spec ad, or I just can't simply put myself to a new project, AI will just keep on chugging on and inevitably just getting to the finish line before I do. The other concern is not inherent of AI, but it is because of our relationship with it. AI, because it doesn't rest and because it is efficient, is attractive to anybody who wants to make money. The world kind of revolves around money, and nobody's gonna lie about that. everybody wants to make an extra dollar, and anything that can help that person make an extra dollar, they're going to take it up. It is in the best interest of a company's bottom line to adopt a system that can do a job quicker, easier, with less complaining and less regulation, right? It means you spend less money caring about the person. So the fact that first, AI just simply doesn't need to sleep every 24 hours or less, and the fact that it will make certain people a lot more money kind of diminishes my value within participating within the economy in any level, right? Would it make sense for somebody to hire me for a certain amount of money to do the same thing that can be done quickly, easily, and probably for a one-off payment by some sort of machine? That really kind of gets to me sometimes. But I don't necessarily think that that would be the end-all be-all. I think much like everything in the world that was disrupted by some sort of new technology, something else emerged out of it. And one thing that you will realize rather quickly is that AI, I do not know how quickly it is going to be able to replace genuine, authentic human art, but AI right now is a tool, and a really effective one at that. It is helping people edit quicker, come up with ideas easier, and it is helping the workflow of many artists. And I think anybody who wants to survive and be economically viable in the coming future has to use AI, be competent with it, and be comfortable with it, find a place for it within the process of creation. And that's the way that I frankly see it right now. I see it way more as a tool than it is a threat. It is a way for me to make more content, maybe even better, maybe more efficiently, but I don't see it as something that is going to completely take over everything. But in the case that it does, and maybe the heartless and soulless people down in Silicon Valley just don't seem to care about us, there's something that you just cannot code. Now, before I explain to you what it is not originally my idea. It is something that I kind of snatched off my professor when we're talking about why AI really can't do what we do. And he said, well, it's because of anxiety. It's because we worry. And first I want to say, I'm not talking about anxiety in the clinical manner, the way that a psychologist would analyze it, no, but I'm talking about the worry that we have. The cold sweats we get by waking up in the middle of in the middle of the evening trying to understand as to what is the meaning of life. The way that canon events leave marks on our souls and hearts and follows us till the day we die. The kind of terror we feel about our sheer existence. That anxiety is what I feel will forever be our mark, right? But it didn't really make sense to me up until I got a chance to really see it for myself. So recently I got a chance to travel to Penang. It's an island north of mainland. Not mainland, but it's an island north of Kuala Lumpur. And Georgetown is famous for a lot of things, but one of the things that it's really famous for is its random murals scattered all around the city. So people can go to Georgetown and walk around and take pictures of them, kind of like a Pokemon situation. You find one day, you take a picture and say, like, yeah, I collected all the murals. And many of them are illustrations by artists who just want their voice heard. Some of them are campaigns against child labor. Some of them are campaigns against domestic abuse. And all of them share a very kind of pro-message approach whereby somebody's trying to say something. All of this came to an incredible crescendo, if you will, when I went to the Hin Bus Depot. So the Hin Bus Depot is a location within Georgetown, and it is an old colonial bus port which was turned into like a hippie kind of modern-esque place with like cute restaurants and a performing stage for a few artists, and it's really cool. And right before you get to the main place, right at the entrance, is a art gallery, a really small one with a few pieces scattered around. And I got a chance to see some really, really beautiful art. And art that was beautiful to me, not purely by its visual value, I mean, using different types of paints and the way that they decided to illustrate certain figures and how they were deformed. It sung to me as far, even though you're saying it, but it kind of rung and resonated with me on many different levels. And next to each painting was a description of the artist and their motivations for that painting. And that is when it hit me. You see, that is where our specialty lies. That is where the gap between us and the machines is. It is in the traumatic events in our lives and how they shape us. It is the memories that we choose to repress and those that we choose to remember. It is in the hesitations that we have because we faced a situation that caused us to flip back. It is the reason why we fight against tyranny, or we claim or protest for certain ideas, and then we put that into art, into our music, into our drawings and paintings, into our films. It is the human experience that is undeniable. Yes, it seems like all I talk about is the painful part of it all. Yeah, sure, but I guess, a really good song is always going to have an element of heartbreak, or a really good film is going to tell the true story of a hero and all that they went through. And so seeing these paintings and these sculptures and all of these unique pieces of art kind of made me realize that's where AI simply cannot get to. It doesn't have trauma. It doesn't have a bad memory. It doesn't have a story that they wish to tell. It doesn't live. It doesn't have people to love. It doesn't have dreams to aspire to. It may have billions and billions and billions of lines of code, all aiming to make admittedly impressive work, but you can never ask it, what is the inspiration behind the painting? Unless you wanted to tell you that it was the millions of data sources that it got and just compiled into something new. But yes, that is my answer to why AI cannot win, or at the very least, that's what I think. And that's why perhaps we shouldn't be worried that now, maybe as artists, our responsibility is to now be more concerned with bringing out that experience in our art more than just making trendy stuff and things that can be easily consumed. Let us be more concerned about the quality of the message and the stories we tell. Let them be a diary for the world that we live in. Let them be an example for how things can be a little bit better, or a reminder of how bad things can really get. And so that is why AI cannot win. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you watched the whole video, thanks. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.